elves and the shoemaker. Once there was a poor shoemaker. He and his wife lived in a little house. The shoemaker worked hard. Snip, snip, he cut some leather. Stitch, stitch, he sewed it.
Sewed it.
Tap, tap, he pounded with his hammer. He worked hard, but he was poor. One winter night, he had just a little leather left. There was enough for one pair of shoes. Snip, snip, he cut the leather. It is late, he said to its wife. I will finish in the morning. He left the leather on his table. The night was cold. A fierce wind howled. It made the little house shake. It made the little windows rattle. The shoemaker's wife took the last bit of flour. He used it to bake some bread.
Bake some bread.
The next day, the shoemaker woke up late. He went to his table. In place of the leather was a pair of shoes. Do my eyes play tricks on me? Asked the shoemaker. He picked up the shoes. Wow, he shouted. He sold the shoes that very day. Now the shoemaker could buy more leather. Snip, snip, he cut the leather. It is late, he said to his wife. I will finish in the morning. He left the leather on his table. The next day, the shoemaker woke early. He went to his table. Now there were 2 pairs of shoes. Do my eyes play tricks on me? He asked. He looked at each pair. Whoa, he shouted. He sold both beautiful pairs that day. Now the shoemaker could buy more leather. Snip, snip, he cut the leather. It is late. He left the leather on his... I will finish in the morning. He left the leather on his table. The next day, the shoemaker was up before the sun. He went to his table. Now, there were 4 pairs of shoes. Wow, he shouted. He sold the handsome shoes right away. So it went all winter. Before long, the poor shoemaker was wrenched. How does leather turn into shoes? Is someone coming into our house? Asked the shoemaker's wife. Are we in danger? We must find out. That night, the shoemaker left out more leather. The shoemaker and his wife hid there were a little scared. At midnight, they heard sounds. Snip, snip, stitch, stitch, tap, tap. They heard giggle, giggle. They saw 2 little elves. It snapped. The elves made the shoes. Then they jumped down. They danced and sing. Fiddle-dee-dum, fiddle-dee-dee. In here we are as warm as can be. Then the elves left. The poor things, said the shoemaker. This is a very cold night. Their clothes are so thin. Yes, said his wife. We must help them. They were too kind to us. The shoemaker and his wife worked hard the next day. Snip, snip, stitch, stitch, tap, tap. The shoemaker made little boots. Snip, snip, stitch, stitch. His wife made little coat and hat. The little clothes are ready. That night, the shoemaker and his wife hid again. At midnight, the elves skipped into the house. They saw the new clothing. They clapped for joy. In a snap, they dressed. Then we dance and sing. Fiddle-dee-dum, fiddle-dee, we wouldn't work. We will go and play. The shoemaker and his wife smiled. The elves danced out of the house. The elves never came back again. The shoemaker and his wife lived happily ever after. Sometimes they talked about their little friends.
You're great.